Alright, so I am furious right now, and I'm so sorry that the following video is going to be from my camera audio because I decided to use my editing software to record, and apparently I didn't click the right setting, and so it decided to record my webcam audio. Luckily, I have my camera audio, and I would re-record it if first of all, the audio clip was 41 minutes, and second of all, I would re-record it if I didn't go off script so much. I don't really want to, and I don't even think I can recreate, because I got pretty emotional, and weirdly passionate about my opinion on this movie, so I'm so sorry. If you don't want to sit through it, go right ahead, but if you do, thank you so much, and enjoy. I'm sorry, I hope this doesn't happen again. I'm just gonna have to stick to what I was using before. I just want to try something new, and of course it was a video that was 40 minutes long! Toodles. The Super Mario Bros. Movie is an animated family film from Illumination, the studio behind the likes of Minions: The Rise of Gru. And don't be fooled, this is a kids movie. I knew that going in, you probably knew that, but it seems like a lot of people didn't, or at least forgot. And that is not to say that a film aimed towards a younger demographic cannot be enjoyed by an older audience, or that just because it's animated means that it is directly towards a younger audience, or that it's not even good. No, this film was made to entertain children, literal children, and that is perfectly fine. Now, you're probably wondering, what about the fans? Okay, listen. The fans of Mario came to go geek out. It was also made for them. When we walked out of the theater, there was a group of parents and multiple families with their kids. It was like a giant, probably whole preschool class it looked like. And the kids were dressed up as different Mario characters. The parents were dressed up. This is a film for families. This is a film for the kid at heart, kid for families, whatever you want to call it. But this film is for kids. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. This is definitely by far the best Illumination film ever, and probably will be for a long time. I thought it was important to preface this because that point of view was the one I had going in. I was expecting a fun-filled, over-referential, jam-packed with Easter eggs Mario movie, and that's what we got. It was for all ages. There weren't any bottom-of-the-barrel common Illumination jokes. There's no fart gun. It was, just for everybody. But movies that are aimed towards families are mainly aimed towards kids. I'm kind of going a little in depth right now, but I will get into it just a little bit later, so I understand people are going to be mad at me. And go write your comment, go write your paragraph in the comments below. I will probably read it. I don't know if I'll respond, but I will read it. But as I said, this was the point of view that I went into the movie with. The person I saw this with, had to tell me just, get off Letterboxd and that we're gonna create an opinion of our own, because, I started getting really scared going in. Most of the reviews I saw were 3 out of 5s. They were super low. 24 frames of Nick eats a maid. I was just really scared because the trailers looked really good. And then I saw when I scrolled through, the Letterboxd, the main where, everybody, it got some good reviews. But then all of the people I was following on Letterboxd had, 3 out of 5s, 2 out of 5s. It was, kind of scary, kind of jarring, and he told me to get off Letterboxd while we were eating a New York-style pizza. We were in the mood for Mario, alright? It was a whole thing. Just a quick side note, while I was scrolling through the Rotten Tomatoes reviews, because I wanted to see, this is the first time I've ever scrolled through Rotten Tomatoes reviews, I wanted to see, what people thought, and I came across one of the funniest reviews ever.
I loved this movie for my kids except for that Mario said a swear word at APPROXAMATLY 18 minutes into the filmography. Warning, warning, warning.
1.5 out of 5 stars. There is so much fundamentally wrong with this review. I love it. Oh god, this is awful. What is happening? And what makes it 10 times better is that this was on Rotten Tomatoes, so you know it's at least half genuine. Only a very specific type of person genuinely writes reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. I loved this movie. 1.5 out of 5. This can't be real. I am in utter shock. This is hilarious. To clarify, he does not say a swear word at approximately 18 minutes in. Your children's ears are safe. Now, for the movie itself, drumroll please. I don't want to drum on the table to mess with the mic. It was cute, you know? Was it over-referential at points? Yeah. Did it sacrifice a strong story and character moments for a weirdly quick pace? Also yes. But did we have a grand old time? Definitely. To start off with the thing that was controversial from its announcement, Christopher Michael Pratt as Mario. Some people will agree with me, some people won't. I thought he did a pretty good job. The mix between the Brooklyn accent from the Super Mario Super Show and the Charles Martinet voice, like, it was perfectly balanced, as all things should be. The voice isn't too deep or Chris Pratty, nor is it too high-pitched and annoying. Like, I have a feeling that that would get annoying really quickly after a while. And don't worry, they cut the Mushroom Kingdom. Here we come! However, a moment that doesn't happen is when Mario encounters a Yoshi, and, like, I hope that in the second one, they do a scene where he holds his hand up like that to the Yoshis, and, like, they make a Jurassic World reference. I'm reaching here, but it would be funny. It's not like they have a problem with referencing stuff. Charlie Day as Luigi was a lot of fun to listen to, but I wish they let Luigi do more stuff. He, instead of Peach this time, was a damsel in distress, and he didn't really get that many, like, moments to shine. It was kind of disappointing because, like, Luigi is my go-to in Mario Kart, but nonetheless, let's shoot for a Luigi's Mansion movie. That'd be so cool. That'd be so cool. Speaking of Peach, Mamma Mia. Anya Taylor-Joy did a decent job here. She's a great actress, and, like, come on, it's Mario. And everything else she's been in where she gets to show her face, she's a great actress. But, like, this is Mario. You gotta take what you can get. And unfortunately for you, you're gonna have to take a these. Jack Black as Bowser was amazing. Everyone's talking about it. When he was first announced, I was kind of like the outlier of the public opinion. Everyone was on board, but I was just a little skeptical. Like, I don't hate Jack Black, but before a couple months ago, I watched School of Rock for the first time ever in the Kung Fu Panda. I've only seen the first two, but the first two Kung Fu Panda movies for the first time. And that's where my genuine respect for Jack Black started to build. Like, I love Jack Black, but this is where he's actually genuinely a great actor. Then the trailer came out, and he doesn't really sound like Jack Black as Bowser. He sounds like Bowser. Bowser has a weird little design change from the games, but that's not that big of a deal. As more ads and, like, TV spots got released, I have terrible posture. I started to trust Nintendo more, and honestly, like, I don't want to spoil why his performance is so great. It's so much fun to watch. He is very funny in this role. Great writing. I don't want to say this line out loud. Jack Black had his cake and ate it too, then got more hungry and ate the cussing plate. I was really tired when I wrote this. Like I said, I don't want to spoil anything, so I'll leave it at this. It just don't get no better than this, say Luigi. Keegan-Michael Key as Toad was a lot more bearable and there as I was expecting him to be. But there's not a lot for me to say though, because he doesn't really do anything notable, and even though he gets pushed into the main trio, he gets sidelined pretty heavily. He's got maybe 2 genuine moments. Oh, he gets his Mario Kart pimped out. Yeah. Alright, then we got Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. It is exactly that. The smile that appeared on my friend's face when we heard that laugh is a memory I'm never going to forget. It's the only time I've seen him smile like that. Donkey Kong's introduction is definitely the part that I will remember most. It's so funny. Oh, and then we get Donkey Kong's dumbass dad, played by Fred Armisen. He was on SNL. I don't hate it as much as everybody else, but I don't really like it either. It's very nasally and sounds like the voice he did with that one Parent Trap sketch with Jenna Ortega. Another criticism this film has gotten is how minimal its story is, and that its characters don't really do much as, like, characters, and they cut everything reminiscent of an actual movie way too short. And yeah, that's exactly right. Like, I can't seriously look you in the eye and tell you you're wrong. It has its issues, and that is one of them. But, like I said, this is a kid's movie. Now, I understand that this was also made for the fans and the nerds and the parents taking their kids to see it, but at its core, this is as much of a conventional movie as Endgame or No Way Home. I'm not saying this film is remotely as good as either of those two. It's kind of an event I wouldn't say this is as big an event as either of them. It's more so treated as the video game brought to life. And that's exactly what I was expecting. That's why I like it. It is for kids, yes, and I'm going to get a lot of flack for that. People are going to be really angry. I'm scared of all the paragraphs that are going to show up. From my perspective, I went in expecting a fun, family-oriented, not even family, all ages-oriented adventure, chock full of references to its source material, and just for nerds, geeks, kids, whatever, for people who grew up playing Mario, and that's exactly what I got. Did it surpass my expectations? No. It did. But I don't, see the fundamental purpose to hate on a movie that was made for, okay, let's even ignore the argument it's for kids. It is made purely for fan service. This was a movie people have been wanting for a long time because the only other Mario movie was live action. It had, weird lizard heads instead of the mushrooms. There's so much of this world to explore. And just the first one, they did a pretty knockout job. It could have been better. This is not the way I would do it. I think it could have been a lot better 2-hour movie. My friend turned to me when they first started going on the adventure. It's almost instantaneous. It was that's it. The use of 80s music is very irritating. Take On Me shouldn't be in there. I Need a Hero feels like it's copying Shrek 2. It's just really irritating to see a movie that was directly catered to a specific demographic, but also just to people who love it in general. It was made by people who love it, for people who love it. It's like Kids Bop, by kids for kids. A grand new feat too. This is an Illumination movie with the main characters are plumbers, and they didn't make one poop, pee, fart joke at all. It was free of that. Excluding the 80s music, this feels like something that The Nightmare Before Christmas tried to be. The screenplay for Nightmare Before Christmas is very simple. This one is very simple too. Other than the references, it's a very specific movie for people, a very specific audience. I get it's not only for kids, but it was made for kids because Mario is immensely popular now. The Nintendo Switch is still getting sold like crazy. And considering new Mario theme park, if you look at the rides there, who are those rides aimed for? They're aimed for younger kids. And then there are the people who are, I guess, kids at heart or just want the nostalgia, so they go to see this movie. I don't understand, this isn't even to general, public who didn't like it anymore, who are bored with it. This is to, critics. You can't trust Rotten Tomatoes critics' reviews to, franchise movies. Avengers Endgame, Star Wars, you can't trust them for these, for sources on whether or not you should see a movie. You shouldn't even be trusting Rotten Tomatoes in general. I don't like their service. It makes no sense why it's the percentage of positive reviews instead of the Metacritic way, where it's the average rating. It is so irritating. There's a 95%. Another thing that makes me think that this movie is for kids. The humor. It's Illumination. Illumination has always made movies for kids, and under this label, under this name with the minions and stuff, it's always going to be that way. All the jokes felt very broad for multiple people to laugh at, but there were a lot that were I didn't really laugh at, but I could acknowledge they were funny. This is fair. I can't say from a filmmaking perspective that this is a good movie. But for a Mario movie, which is what this is, for an Illumination animated movie, for what this is a great movie. I don't think that, I could have asked for more, but you can't have your cake and eat it too, you know? I'm not asking, nobody's asking for this to be as developed as Spider-Verse, or as weirdly and shockingly mature as Puss in Boots' Last Wish. It's trying to be the Mario movie, and people, specifically the critics who are giving it low ratings, don't understand that. Spider-Man No Way Home was purely fan service, and that was luck. That was pure luck that critics like that. I'm shocked. Filmmaking level, it is not a good filmmaking movie. It's got a good script, it's got some charming leads, but other than that, the CGI is not good, and it kind of cuts around the edges, you know? The scene where all the three Spider-Men are talking is not a scene that needs to exist, but they put in the extra effort. There's so much of this movie that feels kind of in the same vein as that. The references, it's so many references. It kind of gets annoying after a while. the story, the Mario's never had a good story, so it is an average movie on its own, but you gotta realize, you gotta watch it through a specific lens. If you haven't seen Mario and you don't like it, I understand. If you don't like it, I understand all the problems with this movie. Maybe not all, but I see the problems. But it's one of the ones, like No Way Home, where the movie is a specific type of movie that I don't care. I don't care about the problems. I can't even criticize it. This is one of the first family, kids movies, whatever, specifically from Illumination, that I have seen in a long time that I wasn't miserable. I had a great time watching this movie. When the GameCube, spoilers, when the GameCube logo showed up, it was great. There were people pointing to it. This is for the smaller generation to enjoy. Imagine the joy of a little kid who loves Mario, who plays Mario, seeing it on the big screen for the first time. People didn't have that in the 90s. They had the live-action one. I haven't seen that one, but I heard it's not good. I've seen a commentary track or two on it, a review on it, whatever. But imagine the excitement on their face. Imagine how it feels to have this, the Mario movie, for them. This is one of the movies, I sometimes can get very critical on movies, like John Wick 4. I liked it a lot. I don't think that I enjoyed it. I've only seen the first John Wick prior to seeing that one. But this is a very special case. This is a specific type of movie. This is a movie that was meant to be enjoyed and meant to be loved. Not meant to be criticized to oblivion because I have ADHD. Alright? The quick storytelling usually doesn't work. It usually can get very distracting after a while. But these characters, this is the first one, we already know who they are. So, the background's quick, snappy. I do wish that there were some scenes that went off after a while, but I have a feeling that they could have made it too boring. It's like, it just hit that sweet spot. I do think it could have been done better. But I don't feel okay criticizing it, because there's so much love and care. Like Scream 5. Wes Craven wasn't there. But there's so much love and care put into it that it worked out. And that's what this movie is. Like Nintendo World, I haven't been there yet. The Mario Kart ride looks slow as hell. It doesn't look that fun, to be honest, from the videos I've seen. But when I go, I probably have a great time. When I go to the land, it's like Galaxy's Edge. There's a lot of problems wrong with it, but it's frickin' Star Wars, man. Like, you know, like Force Awakens is a great example. I love The Force Awakens. I think that it is one of the best Star Wars films. Okay, but one of my favorite Star Wars films. There's so many references, so many homages, and it relies so much off source material and just predecessors and nostalgia. And it works. It's one of the ones where you can't really view it as a movie, and you gotta view it as either a Star Wars thing. It's a continuation. It is a culmination of events. Endgame isn't a movie. It's an event that was in theaters. It feels like, maybe not an amusement park ride, but it feels like when you go to watch the World Series. It's like everything is coming together for one last punch. I don't really know how sports work. It just had something that I can't believe I'm getting this passionate about the Super Mario Brothers movie. I just don't think it's right to criticize a franchise movie, especially when it's gonna stop people from seeing it, because this is a movie that I do believe deserves to be seen. It is worth watching at least once. I don't think I'm gonna watch this for a long time, or I'm not gonna go to the theater back to watch it. There are better movies out there. There are a lot worse movies out there too. So I'm probably just like preaching, it's going in one ear out the other, but this is just my opinion. The animation is beautiful. It adapts the games in such a respectful way, and Nintendo was on top of it. They knew what they were doing. I trust Nintendo because they tried to, like, have you seen how heavy they get with some of the game clips? People playing their games on YouTube or streaming for free promotion. There's so much strictness to it. This has gone so far off script. Like I said, this is I'm definitely going to get some flack. I'm gonna get some essays in the comments, hopefully. Boost it, please. But in all actuality, it is going to be one of the ones that people watch in 20 years and like, I saw that in the theater, I saw Mario, then they're going to show it to their kids, and then it's going to be a whole thing. I just hope that people can hold this franchise close to them like a blanket, like Harry Potter, Star Wars, what else? Indiana Jones, like, hold it close to them. And just love it, watch it over and over again, and as they grow up, play the games with it. We could even get an endgame style event with Super Smash Bros. I don't know, I don't play video games that often. Like, Super Mario Brothers. The only games I've actually played, I've played a teensy tiny bit of Mario Odyssey, but I've watched a bunch of live streams of it and stuff. I played, what's it called? I played Mario Kart. I freaking love Mario Kart. It's Super Mario Maker. That's it. I gave up on Mario Galaxy almost instantly. There's so much to it. And I don't understand why people are I understand, but like, you know, if you don't know my rating system, an 8 out of 10 to a 9 out of 10 is a golden ticket, and 9.5 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10 is a trophy. I'm gonna give the Super Mario Brothers movie a 7 out of 10. Like I said, it's nothing incredibly special, but it's going to be for so many younger kids right now that went to see it. Like I said, there a whole, like, family, multiple families got together, dressed up to go see it at, like, a 6 o'clock at a Regal. This is gonna be a big deal, and it's going to be a very mighty franchise that I hope lives on. I see a lot of hope for what's to come. But yeah, 7 out of 10. Here's the card. No sleep till! Twitter's gonna be so mad at me. I don't even have Twitter. Actually, I don't think I'm popular enough to get that, so we're just safe. Thank you all so much for watching. I knew this is a controversial take, but I digress. April looks to be a very stacked month for movies. We got Dungeons & Dragons, which I have not seen yet, but I want to see so bad. Beau is Afraid, which if you've been here for a long time, I love Ari Aster. Evil Dead Rise, I love the Evil Dead movies, and Paint, which has a 3 something on Letterboxd, but I don't care. I love Owen Wilson, and I've seen some clips of Bob Ross. Very soothing. So yeah, we're getting fed. With all these movies coming out, I want to upload more often. That's why there's like only a week break. And I just want to start getting more regular at this, because the regular I get, the better I get. I just talked to my friend on how to use like a mic. I have a Blue Yeti now, which is yay better than my phone. But I still have some audio issues, like the super high levels and the S's. You guys don't care. The sun's back out again. I'm gonna get some motivation, and I'm gonna be like, instead of doing my English assignments, I'm gonna be writing these scripts. But yeah, stay gold, everyone. See y'all next time. Toodles! Where's the cat? Ooh. DK. Donkey. Peach, you're so cool. And with my star, we're gonna rule. Peach, please understand. I will love you till the very end. Oh, peaches, 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 I love you. Peaches, 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 I love you. Mario, Luigi, and Donkey Kong too. 1,000 troops of Koopas couldn't keep me from you, Peach. In the end of the line, I'll make you mine. Peaches, peaches, peaches.